In this video, you're going to discover how to make matcha ice cream your most memorable yet. And it may be just one of your new favorite matcha dessert recipes. And there's only one way for you to find out. Want to get the Japanese cafe experience from the comfort of your own home? This video is brought to you by the Japanese Cafe Club. If you'd like to make that experience a reality, check the link in the description to learn more. So in order to make my favorite ice cream base, you're only going to need a handful of ingredients. The first is going to be half and half, and we're going to be using 3 cups of this. In addition, we're going to be using raw sugar today, about a half cup's worth. Or if you don't have raw sugar, you can also just use regular sugar. Got it. She loves to chew on everything, so that's why it's a little bit wet there. We're also going to be putting in a little bit of vanilla extract, which I like to use as well for vanilla ice cream, vanilla bean ice cream. And then today, since we're going to be making matcha ice cream, we're going to be using the last bit of my cooking matcha that I got from my last trip, about 32 grams-ish. You can weigh it out, or it's about 5 tablespoons. Plus or minus a tablespoon, depending on how strong or light you want the matcha flavor to be. And then we're going to be using about 3 to 5 egg yolks for additional richness and texture. So here, first thing that we're going to be doing is separating everything. And I think one of the tips for today is going to be to just throw everything in the pot and cook it at once. I used to separate the eggs and then put them in separately with some hot milk, whisk that together and put it back in the pot. It's not really necessary, I found. So let's go ahead and separate these. Mari-chan, koko ni mite. So that's how you separate the egg yolks, just with the shells. Ne, Mari. Kantan da. It's very simple. There's 2. And today we're just going to be using 3 since this is my last egg. All right, so like I said, you can just throw everything into the pot at once and cook it. I like to bring it up to about 165 to 170 Fahrenheit. Make sure that it's well cooked since it has raw egg. And then as far as breaking it all up, making sure that it's mixed, just use a whisk. I usually use my electric whisk. If you don't have one, just use a fork or a regular whisk. And then we're going to be putting in about a half cup of sugar, depending of course how sweet you like it. I think half cup of sugar is a relatively moderate amount. So I'll just do 2/4 today. And then we're going to put in a little dash of salt. Nice dash of salt. And the vanilla extract can go in last because you want to preserve all of the aroma. You can actually put this in when it's churning. And then we're going to be putting in the half and half. And if you want to speed things up, sometimes I just cook half of the half and half and I combine the other half after it's cooked. That helps to speed up the cooling time before it's ready to churn. So you can do that if you want. Or if you're going to take your sweet time, just cook all 3 cups together. But we're going to speed things up a little bit because I want to eat my ice cream. Sure, Muddy wants to eat some too, but maybe not just yet. So there we have another 1.5 cups of half and half. We're going to go ahead and whisk all that together as it cooks until it hits about 170 degrees Fahrenheit, like I mentioned. And then we're going to chill it. And that is essentially how I make a lot of my ice creams using my ice cream machine, which if you haven't seen the review yet, make sure to check the link in the description for the full review on the Breville ice cream machine, which I love. I don't know where my whisk attachment went. All right, so we're gonna use the, the manual whisk today. I'm just gonna go ahead and heat this on medium. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to actually put in the matcha about halfway through. It doesn't really need to cook, but you want to make sure that all the clumps are taken out. And if you're having trouble with the clumping, one thing that you could do is use a wire mesh strainer to sort of sift it. This will help to break up some of the clumps. And just for demonstrations purposes, just to show you, just to illustrate, I'll show you what I was talking about. So now you can see it's very fine, nice fine powder there. Just gently whisk it in. Ooh, matcha snow. Yuki o furu mitai yo ne, Mari. And if you're left with a bunch of little balls like that, just go ahead and press them through to break them up. Benkyou ni narimashita ka, Mari? All right, so let's go ahead and check the temperature. All right, it's at 150. Probably just about a minute or so, and then we can go ahead and chill it. Over here I had an ice bath, or what was once an ice bath, to help speed up the cooling. Alright, power off. So at this point I'm going to go ahead and allow it to chill in the ice bath. And like I mentioned, we're going to combine it with the cold cream, or the cold half and half here, to let it cool even quicker. And then here I'm going to go ahead and pre-cool my ice cream machine. And once this is chilled relatively to room temp, then I'll go ahead and transfer it, and then we'll go ahead and let it churn. And it'll be ready to enjoy in about 20 or 30 minutes. 楽しみだね, Mari. I think she's getting sleepy. 眠たいよね, 今日. Oh yeah, last thing, we're going to be putting in about a couple teaspoons of vanilla. I really think it helps to enhance the flavor of matcha. Same with the raw sugar that we're using. It adds a little bit of a different flavor than if you're just using straight white sugar. So give that a try if you haven't used it yet in any of your ice creams. And then we're going to go ahead and let this chill for a minute. And if I missed anything, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions that I might have missed, make sure to leave them below in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this with Mari-chan, and we'll see you in our next video. Ja ne! Bye bye! Bye bye!